Hey guys, what's up? Let me just grab something. I know you guys been waiting for this. So I'm just going to put this manual right here. When I was asked to talk for the Creative Mornings, by the way, thank you guys for inviting me. The theme was weird, and actually I think the theme was last month's theme, August theme, and it's already September. And while researching, I found out this really cool story about Pope, I think, Eugene III, who was supposed to arrive on a Friday in Paris, somewhere about 1,000 years ago. But apparently this Friday was a day of fasting, so he thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm the Pope. I'm just going to rename this Friday to Thursday. So apparently since that day in 1113 or something, we've been living one day behind because he just said, I'm not going to arrive on Friday, it's Thursday today. So this guy was pretty badass. First badass weird guy. Let's see how far the clicker goes because I want to walk around. No, sorry guys. So this is me, and my name is Ramin, and my hobby is making weird-ass Snapchat videos. Is it? I'm not proud of it. I'm not ashamed of it. Not really sure there. Will you guys want to see it again? Maybe later. So yeah, this month's theme is weird, and when I heard about the theme, I started thinking about it a little bit. And the thing is, when you start thinking about weird stuff, or even normal stuff, any stuff that's there, shit gets really weird when you start thinking about regular things too long. I think I asked you guys to submit something weird. There's going to be something in the end. And someone sent, if you repeat a word like many times, maybe for half an hour, just one word, then it starts getting really weird. Well, this is how I felt when I started researching the theme. And when I felt like that, I told the guys, sure, I'm going to do the talk. Why not? So when researching what weird actually was, I found out that everything is weird, and weird comes in shapes and sizes. So I made a little spectrum of weird. And it starts with normal. And normal is, weirdly enough, normal is something that nobody wants to be, but at the same time everybody is. So that was already kind of weird. Like this guy. And when stuff gets a little bit off normal, so it's not weird yet, but it's just a little bit off, it's a little bit annoying. And for at least annoying for some people, which is already kind of weird. So you get stuff like this, or people that put oranges in apples, and people who eat pizza like this, which I really don't understand. It's really unpractical because you have to have the crust, otherwise the pizza falls, right? So it's kind of annoying. But when it gets a little bit weirder, it starts. Oh, this is me, by the way. Probably a lot of you guys as well. And then it starts getting a little bit interesting as it gets more weird. You got, and creativity starts to step in as well, because you get really pixelated images. You get weird products. You get birds drinking coffee with gentleman hands, which I think is cool. You get like bookshelves, that you can rebuild into a coffin. Why not? You get weird stories, like the story about these girls are twins, but they're actually the twins that have been the longest apart. They were born 78 days apart, but still twins. It's weird stories. You get weird inventions, like the cat piano, which was invented in 1723. Which you think is funny, but they're actually nails that are hitting their tails, and that makes them sing, so that's kind of sad. But you also get weird science, like the fact that kangaroos have three vaginas. Yeah, I know, right? How do you choose? And of course, the master of interesting weird is this guy. Well, I don't have to explain his work to you guys. And then when it gets even more weirder, it starts to get awesome. And that's the kind of weird that resonates with you. That's the kind of weird where you think about, that's a little bit of me in there. For me personally, there's stuff like this, where some guy found out that you can actually replace any line of the New Yorker cartoons with the line, "Can I please add you to my professional network on LinkedIn?" And it really works. You get stuff like this. It's an online video series I'm not going to show you, but if you're interested, write it down. It's called "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared." It's one of the brilliant stuff on YouTube. Get viral videos. You get my favorite Halloween costume. And you get weird stuff like the shark sleeping bag, weird commercials. I don't even know what the Sex Pigs Hot Traffic After Laser Attack on Pokemon Teens is about. But it's still kind of cool. And even stuff like out of context, science out of context gets kind of weird and awesome as well. And of course, yeah, science, you know, how many of us have spent hours on YouTube finding out what quantum entanglement actually means, and then after 4 hours thinking, why have I wasted my time? But at least you can make a slide in your presentation that you know how to pronounce the word. But then, when it gets a little bit more weird, it starts to get overwhelming. And overwhelming, you're not really sure what to think when you're overwhelmed. Because you see stuff like, when you're older, like you see stuff like the internet, you're like, I don't know what to do. There's Dumpert, there's 9gag, gotta really know how this works. You get stuff like the amount of letters the IRS keeps sending me. I'm really overwhelmed by that. So, don't know what to think there. And then if it gets even more weirder than that, you're like, okay guys, stop. This is just too much. Stuff like Game of Thrones scripts where everybody keeps dying, when you're like, guys, come on. You guys saw the reactions video probably. Well, I guess those guys are overwhelmed. You get stuff like Donald Trump, and especially when you get Donald Trump dancing in the Drake video, then, like, okay, I don't really know what to think there. And then when it gets even more weirder, then you're like, okay, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. And that stuff like this, it's like, oh man, I have to go over here, and then there's another screen over there, I don't know what to think, and then this fucker jumps on the screen. You get stuff like Nickelback fan art. And a lot of this weird is personal, so whoever here, maybe someone made this, I don't know, I don't want to offend anyone, but for me that's a bit too much. Actually, when I Googled it, I found that it's like 332,000 hits on Google, so apparently a lot of people like to make Nickelback fan art. And the funny thing is, it goes in a circle, because now we're on a little bit of a negative side of weird, and it starts to get scary there. And weird, scary stuff like this. It's really weird, scary, man. This was actually my first time encountering Sinterklaas and Zwarte Piet. I was 8. I'm not Dutch originally. I was 8 when I moved to the Netherlands, and I think like within the first month, it was December, and I had to go to school. And then a lot of black guys came in and threw candy in my face, and I had to get on their lap, and I was like, okay. I have a really awesome picture of that time. I couldn't find it, unfortunately, but. You get stuff like Fox News, and you get stuff like Lindsay Lohan before and after pictures. Yeah, let's go. And then when it gets a little bit less scary but still weird, it starts to get boring. And when I was researching boring, the most boring thing I found, ironically, was t-shirts that say that you're weird. Yeah. And then, funnily enough, you get back to annoying again, but annoying in a little bit of a bad way. So you get stuff like clowns, which are a little bit normal, but just a little bit off. You get stuff like Comic Sans, which for some people is a bit annoying. And you get stuff like Hillary Clinton trying to be funny online. It's also kind of weird. So when coming back to the weird spectrum, you see that kind of goes in a circle, which I thought was a really funny insight. That from overwhelming, it just goes to just stop, it goes to bye, to scary, but that also works the other way around as well. From scary, it goes to bye, to just stop. So kind of cool. Something funny I found there. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to teach you guys 2 ways to turn all the weird shit that you don't like most of the time into something cool. Yay! Did you see how I tried to mimic the themes, colors, and drawing thing? Yeah. Just trying to get some acknowledgement there because I drew it all by hand. Thank you, thank you. Oh, wait, that's me again. Just in between break, you're going to see a couple of those. You can follow me on Snapchat. That's Ramin. Okay, like I said, 2 ways of understanding and making sense of weird. First, this is what most of us do all the time. And this is how we waste our time as well. Well, you can see it as wasting. Maybe not. Let's say you're outside of this beautiful building on the street and you meet a really nice Japanese man. And the nice Japanese man asks you, I'm sorry, do you know the name of this block? And you're like, the name of this block? What do you mean? This is the Weesperstraat and this is the Nieuwe Prinsengracht. This block doesn't have a name, it's just a space in between streets. If you're looking for something, you should follow the street and then you'll find the place that you want to be. And, well, the nice Japanese man says thank you and walks away a little bit disappointed. But then you are in Japan, in a random street in Tokyo. And you're wondering where you are, obviously, because you don't speak Japanese. And you lost your phone, maybe. You woke up in the morning after being drugged, and so you're like, okay, nice Japanese man that's walking there. Can you tell me where I am? What's the name of the street? And the Japanese man is like, well, this is block 6, this is block 7, this is block 8. You're right in between. The street doesn't have a name. And you're like, it doesn't have a name? So if it doesn't have a name, how do you deliver packages? How do you know where you are? Well, he says, that's easy. You're in Tokyo. This is this is District 3. This is Block 7. House number 1. Okay, you're like, okay, that's kind of weird, but I noticed that not all the houses are in the same order as there are in the West. He says, no, they're not. They're numbered in the order in which they were built. So this is house number 1. This is house number 2. This is house number 3. It makes perfect sense. The streets don't have names in Japan, apparently. The streets are just empty spaces between buildings. And this is such a weird, contradictory thing, but when you think about it, it makes complete sense. And what we have here in the West with street names is really weird, because you start at the world, you zoom in into a continent, you zoom in into a country, you zoom in into a city, and then suddenly you start talking about these weird long things that are called streets. So in Japan, much more sense, where you zoom in a little bit more to a district, to a block, and then to a house number. So that's the first way of making sense of weird, and that's understanding why something is different. And that's what we do all the time. When we see something is weird, we start researching it. We're like, okay, can I look at it? Can I look at this weird thing? Can I touch it? Can I taste it? Can I smell it? And you try to make sense of it. And you waste your time as well. Because most of the time, you still have no idea why something is weird, and you just have to accept it. Accept the uncertainty. But then there's a second way. Oh, by the way, it was really funny. I found out that the flag of Japan is actually a pie chart of how much of Japan is actually Japan. It's kind of don't know what to think there. Don't try to understand it. Just follow rule number 2, or way of understanding weird number 2. And this is something that I learned on a weird course, like back in college, where we did a weekend course. I think it was public speaking or something like that. And in the morning we had this really weird walking meditation session thing, where we had 2 assignments. And the first one was, I think we were a group of 30 or something, and we had to walk through the forest because we were in a hut somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And the guy that was giving the course told us, okay, rule number 1, you're not allowed to talk. We're going to walk for an hour, you're not allowed to talk. Rule number 2, look around as much as you can, and look at all the things that you see and try to look at them like you see things for the first time. Like you just arrived on this planet, this little tree wig over there, it's something that you've never seen before. So try to look at it like really, really deeply. But don't think that it's beautiful or ugly or weird or strange. Just think, that's funny. So don't judge. Try to keep an open mind, don't judge. And the only thing you're allowed to do, don't tell yourself, don't judge, don't judge, don't judge. Just keep telling yourself, that's funny. That's funny that the trick is over there. That's funny that this color is there. That's funny that the weird guy over there is wearing his glasses backwards. It's not weird, it's just funny. And to me, that really opened my eyes after, because like the first 10 minutes, I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Mumbo jumbo, weird ass, hippie shit. But then I really understood what he was talking about, because the stuff gets really like well processed. And if you keep looking into the world like that, you keep seeing new things as well, because you don't let yourself stop at a certain point where you're just overwhelmed or think it's weird. So let's practice. Yay. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to look at this. Don't think it's ugly, don't think it's weird. Just think, yeah, that's funny. It's funny that there's a bike over there. Don't think about the history, don't think about what happened. Let me just... Okay, you guys practice. Let's go to the next one. Same thing. I like that you guys are laughing. That's the whole point. That's funny, isn't it? There's a guy in Times Square holding a laptop making a selfie. Isn't that funny? It's not weird at all. Just Times Square. Isn't that funny? That's not scary at all. It's completely not weird. It's funny. It's kind of funny. Super funny. It's kind of funny, isn't it? You guys feel it working? So to me, this stuff isn't weird at all. Not at all. Do you feel the difference? How was that? So practice this don't think, don't judge thing, and I promise you it will really help you guys a lot, especially when in new places don't know what to think about places or people. Just think, yeah, this is funny. It's a really weird, funny guy. Oh wait, there's one more. When I was making these, I knew that there would be a time when I could finally use them for something. Right. So now that I taught you a little bit about, hopefully I taught you something about how I look at weird. Let's see, I want to show you guys some projects that I did that are kind of weird and how I use the weirdness over there. So I really believe we need more weird stuff, because we're kind of getting, well, you guys know this, we're kind of getting trapped in the whole bubble of internet where you only see things that your friends like, that you liked before, so you're really not exposed to new stuff. And for example, one idea we had with my old copywriter, because, oh, by the way, I'm a creative in advertising, I'm an art director, I work for different agencies all over town. Not only make Snapchat videos. And with my previous copywriter, we had the idea to make a search engine. And the idea came from a place, from the thought that, how long ago, for you guys as well, when did you look farther than the third or maybe fourth page of Google when searching for something? I think maybe a couple of years, maybe when Google was still new. So we made a search engine which is called Page 8. And Page 8 was inherently weird. And what it did, it was really simple. When you it's online. The website is askpage8.com, and it takes you to not the first page of Google, but to the 8th page of Google of the search results that you just typed in. Why the 8th page? Because we found out after intensive research on the first 20 pages of Google that on page 8, stuff got really interesting. And so I want to show you guys some things that we found on page 8. For example, when we were searching for Elvis is Dead, we found the CelebrityMorgue.com. So this is not a joke. There is a guy that has been collecting pictures of dead celebrities on their funerals or cremations for the last 20 years. That's cool, right? And he actually has newspaper articles as well. I mean, come on, the Inquirer, exclusive, Elvis, the untold story, with a picture of dead Elvis in his coffin. That's awesome. That's just the stuff you don't find on page 1 to 7. When looking for hipster, we found the Instagram profile of Hamilton Hipstercat. We still have no idea how this guy isn't as popular as Justin Bieber. Well, he deleted his Instagram account, I heard, so maybe this is his chance. And when researching how to have a creative morning last night, I found a really nice article about how to make yourself poop, which apparently is really important if you want to get to work. So, yeah, trust me on this one. Another project I want to show you guys is this one. Is a little bit more recent one. And Amber, where are you? Hey, you know this one. And it's a photography series that started with a little bit of a weird question. We asked people in the streets of Amsterdam what their internet password was, and if we could make a picture of them together with it. And it was a really nice photo series, and we exhibited we launched at the Hoxton in Amsterdam, so that was great. And I'm just going to show you guys the video.
Whenever you're ready. So you want me to introduce myself and then explain how I came up with my password? Sure. Okay.
Internet passwords. We all have them. What's yours? Is it the name of your pet? The place where you were born? Or maybe just the first thing that popped into your head? We realized a password can teach you something about a person, about their character. We set out to reveal these characters by asking strangers for their internet passwords. We didn't want to get to know their names. We just wanted to get to know them, their hidden characters.
My old dressing, my favorite pen. It used to be my password in the year I was 10 years together with my girlfriend.
My password is Brighton111 because my boyfriend back in England lives in Brighton.
The nickname and middle name of my favorite musician.
And then I don't know, I think it was full. That could be anything. Cool. Now that's the story.
So yeah, you mentioned that you can imagine people reacted in a little bit of a strange way sometimes when we asked them about their password. Some people thought we were trying to hack their email accounts. Some people thought we were just really, really strange. This one time, we did it for a year, and on some Sundays we just went out with Steven that you saw in the video to ask random strangers for passwords. Still sounds funny when I say it. This one time we were super hungover where we just scared a couple of Chinese girls, and then we decided we didn't look really trustworthy to ask people for passwords, so we just had a beer. But I want to show you guys two of my favorite ones, which I thought were really weird, but had a really nice story behind it. The first one is this girl over here, and her password is Chuibus, and actually it's not Chuibus, it's 6 random letters. And the story behind this password was I think 8, maybe 9 years ago, she used to go to a college, and she got a random password with her college email address. and she never changed it, and she keeps using it for the last 8 years. It's great, right? This really says something about her as well. And another one that was cool for me is this guy, and his password was Pulsar98. And when I saw this guy walking, I thought, okay, that's kind of a techie guy. He's wearing a Pulsar shirt, like the star of a, yeah, so you are here, like the star shirt. And then so when he said Pulsar, I was like, oh, like the star, like the pulsating star thing, because a pulsar is like a pulsating star. And he said, no, it's a sound card. It's a sound card. I'm an audio technician, and this is a sound card that I used in the studio in 1998. And I used that as a password, and now it's like, fuck, I shouldn't judge, right? So last one is my upcoming project. It's called Volksbank. It's going to be really weird as well. The idea is that whenever you're in Amsterdam, the coolest thing to have is something that's named after you, right? But it's really hard to get something named after you. You have to do something really special or like really important. So I thought, what can we name after people? And the idea of Volksbankjes raised for the Amsterdam Awesome Foundation. What we're going to do is we're going to walk up to people that are sitting on public benches all over in Amsterdam, and we're going to name the benches after those people that are sitting at the bench there at that moment, with the reason why they're sitting there. So that's going to be the next thing that we're going to work on the next couple of weeks. Okay. Now it's your turn, because you guys sent me weird stuff. Thanks a lot for that. I had a lot of fun reading it. I even got one this night. It was a really long story. I don't know who sent it, but it was really funny as well. What we're going to do is now the mayo comes in. Cue the mayo. What happened is I chose the 5 weirdest things that you guys have sent me. And now I need your help, guys. So we're going to vote on the 5 weirdest things that I got in the mail. And we're going to give the biggest weirdo in the room a prize. And this is going to be an interactive thing. Yay! So grab your phones and go to ramin.nl/weird. And I hope it works, because I never did this before. Does it say connection error? No. It should say, what's the weirdest thing? Okay, cool. I'm going to show you guys 5 weird things that I got in the mail, and trust me, they're all pretty weird. And then after we see all 5 of them, I want you guys to vote for the weirdest thing, and it should all work really smoothly. Let's see. I think there are some links that I need to click, so that's why I'm standing over here. Okay, the first one. Yay. I hope everybody's here who sent in the stuff. That's funny. Okay, remember that one. Next one. I personally love this one. It's what's that?
Close the other one.
Oh, cool 3D world, all vines. Or we should check it out.
Well, I was a big talk.
Someone said baby talk is really weird. This is not baby talk. What's going on? Here we are. Is there something else playing? No. That's just... I think there's something else playing. What could it be? This is funny. Oh wait, there's didn't close that one. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds of baby talk in stereo. This is weird as fuck. If you have no idea that babies talk like this, it's really weird. Okay, next one. Remember that one, guys? That was number 2. Then the third one was insights or things someone said. Technically, there's no time zone at the North and South Pole because that's the place where all different time zones meet. So that was kind of whoa, that's cool, that's weird. I actually, there's someone here. Who sent this one in? Do you know how they do it on the North and South Pole then, when there's no time zone? I researched it. Sorry?
It's weird because all the longitude timelines they meet at one point. So what time is it at that point?
I can tell you that. I actually know. The answer is you can choose one. You're free to choose which time zone you live in, so you can actually come across people if you dare. Nobody's there most of the time, but it's like, oh, what time is it? And they could be 12 hours ahead of you. Weird facts.
Can they change
The date?
No, David. Like, oh no, today.
I think so. I think you can change every couple of minutes. Yeah. Then this is number 4. A story about a woman that has huge boobs and she makes money by squashing men with them. And her name is Christy Love. So that's cool. Okay, this is number 4, and then the last one is this one. Who sent this one in? Yeah. Thought so. Check this out, guys. This is the instrument. Right? Yeah, and there's a whole YouTube series on that. Spent 2 hours watching that yesterday. Thanks for that. Okay. And that was number 5. So guys, it's your time to vote. Grab your phones. Go to this URL, which I hand drew. Once again. And vote for your favorite one. And I think I can see what you guys are voting on. I hope. You guys get a minute. Ooh, votes are coming in. Votes are coming in. You got 10 seconds to vote. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Thank you. Votes are closed. Ooh. Okay, and I think we have a winner. And what do you think the winner gets? Ooh, and it's gonna be... Who's the biggest weirdo? Oh, no, wait. It's weird that you guys expected it, because I had no idea who's gonna win. But the winner is Weird Fat Men in Chairs on the Boat thing. So whoever sent it in, are you here, winner? Come on over. Congratulations.
It's funny, right?
That's great. What's your name?
Danae.
Danae. What do you like about it?
It's just bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Yeah.
And now that I've taught you a little bit on how to...
Have you ever seen anything like that, really? I haven't.
That's funny, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Danae, congratulations. You're a proud winner of the mayonnaise.
I knew it was going to be the mayonnaise.
Congratulations. Thanks for sending it in. You're the biggest weirdo of the group. Be proud. By the way, guys, I'm going to send you this in an email as well, but I collected all the weird stuff that you guys sent me on the Tumblr page. It's weirdspiration.tumblr.com. Again, we're going to email you guys, and it has everything from long stories to images to quotes to videos. It's really fun. Have a look on the website today, and hopefully you'll get some more inspiration over there. And I think that was it. I want to end on a quote. Someone hear about Robert Ripley? The guy collected, he has the biggest weird-ass collection in the world, and they actually opened an exhibition in Amsterdam on the guy with a lot of artifacts he found. And he said, I've traveled to 101 countries, and the strangest thing I've seen was men. Well, that was clearly before they invented the internet. So thank you. Thanks everybody for coming.